Good morning, Warren County and some surrounding counties I heard over the weekend. Thank you once again for tuning in to the show. I am Kelly Walker Slaughter, your host of Warren First 931. And again, I hope everybody had a nice and restful holiday break. As of course, recapping a few things. First and foremost, I hope everybody enjoyed all the trimmings and the turkey and the desserts and the family time. Um, it was really just a great, if you didn't get to do something with your family, find a friend or do some friendsgiving or something like that. I know a lot of people did a friendsgiving outing, not just a family thing, and I thought that was really cool to see all the photos and stuff. And of course, if you're like our family, our Elf on a Shelf comes out after Thanksgiving, so Friday morning we woke up to our elf doing their already crazy shenanigans. And if you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, you should be able to see where we actually posted this morning. They're getting a little crafty, or at least I guess they're just relaxing after the holiday. I always feel like you need a break after like a long vacation or break time. And so again, that is what ours is doing. So this morning we woke up and we saw Elfie and Dolly. They created a little spa scene in the bathroom, and it was really neat how they did it. So if you have an elf on the shelf, or I think there's now Snoop on a stoop, and I think there's Trump on a stump. And, there's all these new ways of doing, Christmas traditions. So if you have anything like that going on at your home, I would love to see what your family traditions are, things like that, if you have it. So make sure you post on Facebook and Instagram and share your story with me. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and one person I didn't know if I was going to get her or not, if she wants to do it right quick. Yeah. So, Jennifer Flat Meredith is with us this morning, and she is with, of course, Main Street McMinnville. If no one, I mean, she's a regular now on this show, which I absolutely love because, now we got two blondes on the show. And blondes do have more fun. Sorry. But with that said, over the holiday break, a lot of things came up, and this was one of them of, where does downtown get their funding for renovations, the upkeep, I guess, is the best way of saying it. And I think some things got skewed where people were thinking that the city of McMinnville pays for these upgrades. And I know that they do the sidewalks and like the streets, but when it comes to the buildings and things like that, that's where Main Street McMinnville is involved in. And like I was reading, and I didn't get involved in it because I think the person that people should be asking those questions to is her. She is over Main Street McMinnville. So, but with that said, some things were mentioned that, everybody needs to be watching what the city of McMinnville is spending when it comes to downtown renovations and more. But that's really not the city of McMinnville. And please explain that, Jennifer, because again, it's just a lot. But you, as Main Street McMinnville, you guys work to get grants, and one of them being the downtown. There's a grant for downtown businesses improvements. Explain that again.
So, and a lot of people, and it's completely okay. A lot of people don't know what Main Street McMinnville is, and a lot of times I didn't know either until I really started actually working for Main Street McMinnville. But at the same time, everybody thinks Main Street McMinnville is Main Street Live. Or that's the city part, but actually that's Main Street. So anyways, there is some confusion, but Main Street McMinnville started, we are a nonprofit. We started over 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And they are the ones that went in with the state and the city and the county to actually revitalize downtown.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. Main Street McMinnville has now still continued working on revitalization, but we do a lot of the downtown events like the carriage rides, Flip the Switch this past weekend, like Main Street Live, different things that we have, Second Saturdays, different things that we do to promote our downtown is what Main Street McMinnville works a lot on. Now, however, we did last year apply for a grant that only Tennessee Main Street communities can get. And since we're an accredited community, we applied for it. We got a downtown improvement grant, which was $300,000 from the state. It's a reimbursable grant. So that means that we have to pay for things on the front end and they get the money back. But the way that Main Street does that is then we offered grant sub grantees. So we opened it to all the businesses downtown to apply for it. And then it's grants for facades, it's grants for brickwork, windows, awnings, stuff, paint.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the grants that were available. They've already closed. We've already given out all of our funds. But those business owners like Collins River, when Joe did his painting and stuff like that, or you'll notice new awnings that are over here across the street. Paul Holder building and stuff like that. The Warren County Furniture building, her windows, her awnings. Right. The local with some of her stuff that she got down there on Main Street Center. She got some new windows and some brickwork done.
I was going to say, yeah.
So all these different kind of improvements that you're seeing that have been going on downtown are actually the business owners putting the money into it. And then if they've applied for a grant, hopefully getting some of the money back from the state to help do these downtown improvements.
Like up to 75%.
Yeah. Right? Up to 75%. So it's a lot of money out of our business owners, pockets first, because, but to hopefully get to get some of that. So we applied for it. Usually Main Street or like a Main Street community goes in with the city and applies for it for that kind of grant. Other improvements that are like, as far as the downtown building, other improvements get done. A lot of the city applies for grants for it. Yeah. So like there's always grants that they've got sewage and wastewater grant stuff. I think they got a lot of that stuff. So a lot of those funding things are grant related. Yeah. And take a lot of work to get those and then put them into that. But that's how Main Street is involved with that, continuing that kind of revitalization with trying to offer these sub grants to business owners. That
and
are
when
downtown.
when we say business owners, is it just in the downtown area? Because I know, and again, when we talk about grants have specific guidelines to follow.
Yeah.
And so this one that come up in the topic over the weekend, was it just for downtown businesses or businesses in general?
Yeah. So it's just for downtown businesses. It has to be in the historic district of McMinnville.
Okay.
So that runs from basically Hardee's all the way down to basically
past Begonias.
Yeah, past Begonias through Morford, up this way. So the Loop or whatever.
Okay.
And so it has to apply to the historic zone of McMinnville. That's the way that the Main Street grants work, or the Tennessee Main Street from the ECD.
Okay.
So Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development.
If you want to know what that means.
Yeah. Economic and Community Development. They're the ones that actually are the ones that do the funding every year. And this is a grant process that comes up every year. But once your community receives it, you're only allowed to get it like every two or 3 years. And
that makes sense. I mean, renovations, you want to do an upgrade every 3 to 5 years.
Yes. So, and there's I think 47 Main Street communities in Tennessee, so that are accredited, and that's something that's very specific because you have to do all this rigorous accreditation to be able to apply for some of this kind of funding. So,
and then and the other thing that came up, and I don't know if this applies to you as well, but people were talking about how downtown went through stages. Right, there was stage 1, stage 2. There's multiples, but was Main Street McMinnville involved in any of the funding or the stage, for that process?
So that was
how does that go? Because I think that's where people are getting confused on what.
So that was when the revitalization started. What, and I guess 2000-ish. I don't remember. It was
a little bit after COVID, maybe.
So no. Well, the initial revitalization of downtown when it started, like in 2000. 1999, something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Can't remember. Where's Jimmy Haley when you need him? He would know.
Okay, well, when that all started, when there was nothing downtown. Yeah. When there was nothing, when they tore up the sidewalks and they did all the beautiful renovations that are down where the brickwork, the sidewalk, everything, Main Street McMinnville did go in with the city and the county, and they worked on getting grant funding and getting
grant funding only at this point for phases.
No, when they started, I think there was a match still from the city and
Okay.
still a match. And I know Main Street McMinnville also raised a lot of money to help with that match. Some of the bricks that people have, the engraved bricks, they sold those. They sold other
that
plaques
you
and stuff
see
like
all
that.
down the sidewalks and
And all of
such.
that money that came in also went to the grant matching for that. So I know that money, I think it was about, don't quote me exactly, but I think
Roughly around.
about 25 years ago, that was about $5 million for us to do everything downtown the way that it
Okay.
looks. Now that's where you see stuff in the paper about them kind of coming up with like new ideas to do different phases, because we just did the phase 1.
Yeah.
Years ago after that, the city also worked with Main Street a little bit, and they did phase 2, which was down Morford.
Okay.
But they really just kind of redid the sidewalks,
Yeah.
and did some of the utilities. They put the
Which is
utilities
the
underground.
normal thing that they take care of
Yes.
in general.
Yes. And so they kind of did that phase 2. Phase 3 is the west side. So it would be
Okay.
Security Federal, Graves, Hardee's, down Morford. That would be phase 3 that we haven't started yet.
Okay.
So that's why, like, down that way, the sidewalks are still really broken. They're not, the city has started working on some of those sidewalks just in the city limits for certain things, but the utilities are all up and not underground. As you come downtown, you'll realize that we have the light poles and everything. There's no wires and everything like that. And that's something. The infrastructure is something that that still needs to be worked on. So that technically is phase 3. When they started this whole process 25 years ago, there was plans drawn up for every single phase, and to make it look a certain way. So phase 3 is not something that we have started yet. It's something Main Street would love to happen, but we know that there's a lot of funds to be raised, and and we do have to have partnerships from the city, from the county, and other people who want to be able to do that. I know a lot of the business owners down there on the West Main really want it done. Because that's also the reason they don't really have Christmas lights down there, because it's it's just the way that things
everything and again, everything takes time and patience, and and I think a lot of people, and I always say this, money doesn't grow on trees, and if it could, I think we all be tree owners at this point. But if you want the reason I called her to come in this morning as a last minute thing is because if you want to know what's going on in your town, you need to call, like if it's something to do with like downtown renovations, for example, call Main Street McMinnville. You can call them at their office, leave a voicemail, send them an email, whatever it is. Be classy about it. I always say that. You get more bees with honey, not vinegar. And, and ask them, like, where does this go to? I get people texting me and Facebook messaging me about, da-da-da hasn't been cleaned in years. Who do you know to go to? Well, I don't know who to go to. So I'm going to start calling what I call my little Rolodex of people, and then find out who to call. So then I can tell that person, ma'am, this is who you need to call to clean up this area. This is out of city limits, or it's in county. Out of county, in county, because there's a lot of things there. People call me all the time, and I try to find out where to go. But when I saw this and it stirred up the bee's nest a little bit, I was like, wait, whoa. We need some clarification before we get down that ugly rabbit hole. And the one person to clarify that is Jennifer. So if y'all have any questions about why is there, like, the big thing, and I get it, like there is a lot of other business owners outside of the downtown area that, would like some oomph and, a little spa, as I call it, little sparkle. But maybe calling people like Jennifer and myself and be like, is there a grant that we can apply for? Because we are a business in in McMinnville. I don't know. There's money available somewhere. You just got to find it. And, and working with people, like having Jennifer in your circle, or, any of the people that work with downtown or the city or the government officials, that's the best bet to go, is to call them first before jumping to conclusions, because we don't want to create no negative Nancy's. Okay. We don't need no more Karens. I wish there was a guy name, but there's not.
Maybe we come up with it.
No. I was thinking of the emotional movie that we watch with joy and sadness. Like, we don't need no anger. Or confusion, which causes anxiety and such. But again, I wanted her on here just to clarify. And if y'all have any more questions, y'all are always welcome to message me. I'll send them to her and then send you back the answer.
Yeah.
Because that's how this works. I'm not going to come up with nothing out of my, like I told her, it's like, I've already got something lined up I really need to talk about. But your thing, I was like, I think you need to be on here.
There you go. Yeah.
But again, if you guys want to know anything more about, what was stage 1, stage 2, what stage 3 is going to look like, call.
Yeah.
She will.
And I will tell you that, yeah, I know that that's something Main Street we've tried to push for, phase 3 to happen, because a lot of people do want to see the improvements downtown on that end. And I know that there is some controversy. People are like, where's that money coming from? And it's grants. It's going to have to come from grants. It's going to have to come from us raising funds. Like Main Street, we are a nonprofit. So, we operate just like any other. We raise all our money. We raise all the money that goes towards Main Street Live in the summer, that we provides that free community concert. And that is a lot. That's very expensive, but it's something that we enjoy doing. It's something that we love doing for our community, and community events are something that we really work on too. So, but we also are focused on that preservation piece and the revitalization of our downtown, because we want it to continue to grow. And I think the people who are the Main Street McMinnville board and the people before me years ago who did all this amazing work that they did to make our town look as beautiful as it is, that's where it started.
Yeah. And if anybody does want, you talked about the bricks, right? Mm-hmm. Is that still like a fundraiser?
It is still a fundraiser. Goes on? Yeah, we still have a brick fundraiser that you can call and get a brick, and we can get it engraved for you, and then put it downtown. We still have plenty of places. All the red square bricks that you can see downtown. There's some of them. We also do plaques. We also have we did benches. You can dedicate a bench plaque to somebody, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's kind of
okay. See, if you ever need to know the nitty gritty of what goes on, just ask.
You're learning all that stuff, aren't you?
I learned. Since I've started this podcast, I have learned so much about nonprofits and city government crap. And I'm just like, good Lord, this is a lot.
I think what people don't understand is it's not just like the city works very well with different partnerships, and we all work well with partnerships. That's the only way we get anything done. And you got to remember, you got to remember that kind of thing too. And that there is we've worked along with the city to try to find, we've had meetings like, hey, what can we do to help with the lot improvements, or what can we do to push this forward? And they basically said, we need the funds. We don't have the funds in the budget right now to do that. And, would take a huge investment. So find those grants and find those things like that. So, but yeah.
And speaking of keeping the information going out, is the survey done now?
It is not done yet.
Okay, it's not done. So
no, I think we still have this week.
Is it this week? Okay, so talk about the survey once again, and I'll let you go.
So, we have a survey going on right now still. That we want your information. We want information. Yeah, we want information. We want your opinion.
Yeah.
On what else we can do for downtown in different improvements. What you would like to see downtown. Whether that's, more entertainment, more shopping, more eating places, like that kind of thing. It's going to work for Main Street McMinnville's strategic plan for the next couple of years. For us to kind of have a goal, two or three goals to work on to improve different things in downtown. Main Street also helps with just, we try to help recruit some businesses downtown and different things like that. So, those survey results would be greatly appreciated if you can fill it out. It's on really our Main Street McMinnville. It's on our Main Street McMinnville Facebook page. I think it's on
my page.
Yeah, and it's just.
Yeah. It's very basic questions, and you do 1 through 5 or 1 through 3. Your top to your lowest. It talks about stuff, and I will tell you that Main Street McMinnville did not come up with a survey. It's a state survey that the state came up with. Because when you get, and I want to reiterate this because it was really confusing on 2 questions for me that I still remember. There was entertainment, and it's one button, and then the other one was festivals and events. Yeah, it was really weird. And I was like, okay, well, entertainment's the same thing as all that you just mentioned. So I clicked entertainment, and then the other thing was, would you like to have a park theater
or a theater, yeah,
in your, and I was like, well, we already have one. I'm good.
Yeah.
We don't,
Yeah.
And so I said no. And it asked, and I can't remember if it asked you why, but I did have to type some stuff. But again, take the time. It's less than like 5 minutes, 20 questions, read them, answer them, and then at least put your input, because the more that you are invested in the community, more involvement, the more the better we can like move forward together. I always say that the closer that we can work more well together, the better we're going to walk in sync together.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. And I understand that there's a lot of mass confusion, a lot of hearsays and naysayers and yay sayers, but if you want to know what's going on in your community, you have to watch these meetings. You have to call these people. And I say it, the word you got it, the phrase I use, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't want to do it, there's people like me and others in this town that are movers and shakers to be like, hey, Kelly, do you know da da da? Well, no, I don't, but I know somebody that does. And I'm like, so what I do this morning, Jennifer, I am so sorry to bother you, but could you please come on the show this morning and talk about da da da? And she's like, sure. And I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So,
and the survey's a great way to just get your opinions out there. I mean, people have, of course, with social media, we have this little keyboard warriors. We can speak our own voice, but the way that you can also do that, so we see your information, is also filling out those surveys and stuff like that. And I know, like, the city did one when they were talking about the lot. They want to know what you want as a community and a city, so we can continue to build that. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I know I was telling Melody I didn't know if I was going to get you again or not. So, but I'm glad you came.
Are we talking about the
she just finished.
The renovations?
Yes, she just finished it.
Get that cleared off the board because it was irritating me.
I know.
But
again, if anybody needs Main Street McMinnville, they can call you.
Yes, they can call 931-506-5335, or just Facebook message us or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah, she's really good about getting back within the day. Okay, guys, just so y'all know. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
But you also gotta know she's a mom of 3, right? 3 babies. They're perfect little angels. And her little daughter, every time I see her, I met her only one time. One time I met her daughter, and it was at Gondola, and she came up behind my back and gave me the biggest hug. And I didn't even request a hug, but it's like she knew I needed it. And every time I see her now, I'm like, give me a hug. And so, but with that said, the next thing up, which is the big hot topic of the week, which I want to make sure to get it out there, is, of course, like I said, last week I only did 2 shows, so I wasn't prepared. But with that said, I am going to read, and Melody's here with us this morning.
For a minute, I was dropping off lasagnas.
Okay.
See? Lasagna.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Oh, no.
I'm going to heat it up and eat it for breakfast.
There you go.
If you have any questions, and seriously, like I just said, with Melody being here, or with Jennifer just left, if you guys have questions about what is going on in the community to get some clarification before we jump through a rabbit hole, please call or text me at 931-305-0869, or Facebook message me, Instagram message me, and I will find you the person I need to. I've already helped several people in this community, I say behind the table, behind the scenes, figure out who is the contact name to get in touch with on certain things. So before we go down the rabbit hole and get lost in translation, let's go talk to the people's, like I always say, talk to the horse's mouth.
Well, yeah. And the horse's mouth tried to clarify the post that said that, and I got argued with, and that's when I deleted my post, because I'm not here to argue.
No.
And then I just called Kelly and I was like, let's just address this before this rumor gets out of hand.
Yeah, that's why I said if Jennifer could come on, that'd be great, because I didn't know what time you would come.
Well, I didn't know.
This kind of worked out.
Just y'all. Okay, I'm gonna full disclosure. I have gotten a hold yesterday of this show called Lioness by Taylor Sheridan. It's the same guy who does Yellowstone and Landman, which is also incredible. But I'm not a big Nicole Kidman fan, but she's in it. But Zoe Saldana's in it. Anyway, it's phenomenal. And I was smack in the middle of an episode and I had to finish.
You're okay.
It was so good.
So with that said, as people have been listening, one of my hot topics this week has been about the city administrator Nolan Ming's pay raise. And I want everybody to know that this information that I'm about to summarize for you is all the information from the mayor and alderman meeting last week. And it was public knowledge. You can either go sit and watch it in the building over there above
in the old Regions Bank.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember what that bank used to be.
It was Regions and then it was Citibank before that.
Yeah, the old Citibank is what I was going to say. But above there is where they hold their mayor and alderman meetings.
Second floor, and the elevator's very polite.
It is very polite. And when you go up there, you could have watched it in person, or you can actually go on the City of Government's Facebook page. And I don't know about Instagram, but it was on Facebook. And that's where I watched it. I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched it a couple of times just to make sure I summarized this correctly. And I want you to know, and over the weekend during Flip the Switch, I had a lot of people come up to me and be like, I can't believe everybody voted yes on this and nobody voted no. And I was like, whoa. And I want to clarify first and foremost on that. We had 2 people on the board vote no, and that was Stacey Harvey and Carrie Morton. Everybody else said yay to it. But with that said, here is the summary of the mayor and alderman meeting in a nutshell, okay? It says the mayor and alderman's meeting commenced at 7 p.m. with the swearing in the oath of the newly elected mayor and alderman women. And then the meeting included a roll call where all members were present and followed by the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. There were no visitors or employee recognitions during the session. Moving into new business, the board discussed a resolution regarding an employee agreement for Mr. Ming, the city administrator, which included recommendations for a salary increase and the provision of a fleet vehicle for official use. Questions arose regarding comparisons to previous contracts and proposed changes, prompting a decision to defer this matter to the next to further review. And that was through Carrie Morton. If you watch the video, Carrie Morton wanted to compare both of the contracts, like the old contract with the new contract, because they didn't, and don't count me on this, I couldn't remember. I think they had the new one, but they didn't have the old one. They had one, but not the other in this meeting. And they just
was the new one. Yeah.
Yeah. And they wanted to compare and contrast just the difference because, and then with the fleet vehicle and everything else in there. With that said, it was prompted to defer this meeting to the next one, which was, I think, going to be this week. But with that said, the meeting then addressed several resolutions, including accepting proposals from TDOT related to state projects and authorizing purchases for public works, including a boom mower and a water meters. All resolutions that were discussed were approved through motions and votes. And there were updates were given on recent improvements at the Milner Center, including the completion of the sports courts and pool renovations. Additionally, there was a discussion about the upcoming Christmas parade as well, because, of course, that's this weekend.
So much going on this week.
Oh, there is. The meeting can't even say culminated with a departmental reports and an announcement of a potential reappointment of the vice mayor. The board also went into an executive session before adjourning. Overall, the meeting covered important administrative updates, financial considerations, and community developments. But with that said, at the end of this meeting, the new alderwoman, okay, I'm trying to say that, Alderwoman Carrie Youngblood brought back up the topic of Nolan Ming, or Mr. Ming, city administrator, to get his raise. And then they went through it of some of the talking points that I think were allowed, that the public knowledge is allowed to have, because there was some things that, of course, with contracts, there's some things that you're not allowed to talk about. So what was talked about was the pay raise. What was talked about was bringing supplying a fleet vehicle. And so with that said, they did, there was, everybody voted yes to it except for Carrie Morton and Stacey Harvey. Steve. Why I keep saying Stacey?
I do the same thing.
Okay.
Which
Steve.
let me say that Steve Harvey is the current vice mayor. Everett Brock held that position before Steve took that. Just so that's on the record for those who don't know, Steve Harvey is our current vice mayor. So I don't know. I didn't even think about the fact that they would have to reappoint or re-elect him.
Yeah, because I was gonna go through this again. And I will tell you all this, because when I was watching it, before I read my notes again, I had to download a AI script reader because it was really hard to hear some of the stuff that was discussed in the meeting. Some mics were better than others. Okay.
Well, and me personally, I do better if I can read through it a couple of times. Yeah. Just hear.
I'll send that to you if you like.
Okay. Maybe that's nice. Maybe that's what I need to do with these meetings so that I can hear what's going on.
Oh, I bought the thing monthly. So if you want me to send it to you,
I'll just do that.
So, and then I can also put it on McMinnville or on our Word First Post as well.
I was going to say that might be something that would be good to put up on the post
so you can hear
a transcript. Well, a transcript of what
this is a transcript of everything. And I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom so everybody can see. Let's see. I was going to, since the average is 165. And I will say, okay, in the contract, not only was his raise changed, that's why I couldn't remember, but his severance, the obligation, it was the fleet vehicle, a salary increase, and instead of having a 12-month severance pay, he's getting 9 months. That's if he decides to quit. If Nolan Ming decides to leave today, he does not get severance. But if he gets fired or let go on good terms, he gets 9 months of severance.
So then I would say let go. I don't think you get fired on good terms, but if he gets let go at the position, yes.
There's a lot of guidelines in there that actually states
to have.
This is where they were talking about the 12 months, and that's what was requested was a year of unemployment.
Yes.
And that's how I'm going to say it, because severance is another fancy word of saying unemployment.
Right.
But let's see the grades levels. I'm like skimming through my notes again. Oh, and okay, and this is also something I wanted to tap on this morning. So the reason that there was a lot of questions being arose on this, and I am not saying this to hurt anybody's character. I think Nolan Ming is a great guy. I know his daughter and all them, and I think he's got a great personality and he's doing the best he can because he's the city administrator.
Right.
That is like a lot involved. A lot of he's got his hands and he's got a lot of hats involvement in our surrounding town here. But with that said, there was a lot of comparisons to his salary, what he made to what he agreed to. Believe it or not, guys, the $165,000 that he's going to get now is still a low amount compared to similar counties that have the same population.
And I thought it was comparable. That's why they did that amount, because it was comparable.
I thought it was similar. It was comparable. Yeah. Sorry.
So no. That's why I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
So before he was below what other people are making.
Way below. And he didn't take the fleet vehicle at the time. They gave that to either the police department or the fire department got a vehicle out of that.
Yeah. So with that said, I also want to clarify that he has a bachelor's degree in community development and public administration from Central Michigan University and a master's degree in public administration from Northern Illinois University. And he also studied architecture at the University of Illinois.
Yeah.
So for those unfamiliar or just as a refresher, when you have a bachelor's degree, that's basic. It's associates and then it's bachelor's. Once you get a master's degree, then that means you're entitled to more money because you have more education. You've learned more. One of my good friends has a doctorate, and she's the city administrator of a town in North Carolina. And while I don't know what she makes, judging by the house she lives in, I'd say it's a pretty penny. So you got to look at the education. He's not just somebody with a high school diploma.
And he just learned by experience.
Right. He's gone to school. He's acquired those degrees, that education, that knowledge to effectively do his job. And I don't know how many other city administrators and surrounding counties have that master's degree, but I, for one, am grateful that we have somebody in that position that has that much knowledge and that much education to do the job. And he has done an incredible job.
Mhm.
And the other thing is that with any job that you do, after a while, you get a pay raise. My son just got one yesterday
Yeah.
at his job. He's more than proven that he is capable and able to do the job that he was hired to do. And therefore, he deserves a pay raise.
Yeah. And I'm going to play devil's advocate now on that
Okay,
one.
go ahead.
Because this is the frustration that I know you as a community and business owners are, releasing your information.
Yes.
I know that everybody was like, well, why did we do all these budget cuts? Again, this time last year, we were in the hole. Now, again, this is all public knowledge, what I am releasing to you today. We were $904,000 in the hole this time last year. That's how much debt we were in. And they were doing a lot of budget cuts on city things, on businesses, on also, for example, Meals on Wheels was one of
Yes.
the nonprofits that did not get funded this year because of the budget cuts. They're trying to bring down that debt. I do know that the girls from North Spring Street asked about, can we do something about the lighting down there? Because at night
And they
it
wanted
gets
Christmas
really, and
decorations
they wanted
things.
Christmas decorations and things, and they got denied on that. And I know that is so frustrating. But with the knowledge and the information that me and Melody have, this is what we know right now. But you guys have every right to keep going to these meetings, emailing the elected officials or calling their office and asking these questions that I'm trying to answer for you guys. This is all I've found out so far, but this is off a public meeting of the summary of last week's meeting with the mayor and aldermen.
Now, with that being said, what little knowledge I have, and only having a high school diploma, but I have asked these questions before. And what I am thinking is that there may have been a budget for payroll promotions.
Yeah.
That may have been
That was already
included
implemented.
in the
Mhm.
budget.
This
That might
is
have
not the
already
first
been there.
time that it's
Just-
been up for discussion either.
Right. Just like the library automatically gets $100,000 every year. That is included in the budget. That cannot be changed. That is permanent.
That's correct.
Just like the animal control gets a set amount. It's like
Mhm.
$80,000, I think,
Yeah.
per year from the county. This is the county. There's two separate budgets. But again, there's certain things that are included in each budget. And because of laws, there is certain ways that it has to be written.
Yeah.
Now, you all know that I work my butt off with my nonprofits. I love all of my nonprofits, but I will say I have to agree with the city that perhaps we do not need to be providing this money to our nonprofits. It's not the city's job to keep them afloat. It's not the county's job to keep them afloat. And I know that a lot, the ones I work with, heavily rely on that money, and I get that, but also that's kind of where fundraising comes in.
Yeah.
But then also, I also understand there's not always the people that are coming out and providing for that fundraiser.
Yeah.
So it's really a weird place. I don't
As a
agree.
nonprofit, you shouldn't be acknowledged that you can't just get money handed to you. You have to work for it.
Right.
Because that's what a nonprofit really is.
So
Right.
I agree that the city shouldn't have to pay for it, but I don't know what the solution is to be able to keep that funding going.
Yeah. And you can't make and at the end of all this, you can't make everybody happy. If we made everybody happy, we go broke.
Yeah.
And that's how I always tell you can't make everybody happy or I'll go broke. But again, if you have questions of concern or you want information, like you have to ask the right people.
That's why the aldermen are there.
Yes.
The aldermen in the city are there. They are elected by you to represent you,
Yeah.
to help you.
Yes.
The county commissioners are elected by the county people to work for them, to help them. Go to your alderman. Go to any alderman.
Mhm.
I don't think they're picky. Go to any alderman and say, can you please explain this to me? And
Yeah, they
I've
do
never
it.
had somebody turn me down and go, I'm not telling you about that. And as long as they legally can talk to you about it, they will.
There's probably some things legally they can and cannot talk about. Let's be
Right.
honest, because it's still a business.
And it's not that they're trying to keep secrets from you, but there's just legality wise, there's reasons why you can and cannot talk
Just like
about
us
things.
stuff. Yes.
And we, you have to respect that boundary line.
Yeah.
But as long as they can, you can go talk to them. All of their information's online. Everybody's listed as to who's there. Go to a meeting, talk to them before, talk to them after. Most of them
their
are there
information's
beforehand.
on the city government website.
Yes.
I want everybody to know that. So if you want to see it, and email them. And again, I said this earlier with Jennifer, you catch more bees with honey. So bee adults.
Flies.
I say honey, bees and honey. Sorry.
Oh, Mama always said flies with honey than with vinegar. See, that makes more sense. You would catch more bees.
You would catch more bees with honey than vinegar.
Okay, we're just going to rewrite
We're going to rewrite it.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
But with that said, again, when the vote came up, if you're just now tuning in with us, when it come to Mr. Ming, city administrators, pay raise, we had 2 no's and the rest of the board said yes to it. And Stacy Harvey.
Steve.
Gosh, there I go again. I'm looking at her as I'm saying
He's gone now. So
Steve is gone. And I love you, Steve. Steve is gone.
No, Stacy's gone.
Stacy's gone.
Steve is still with us. Steve is our vice mayor as of right now.
Okay.
I do this all the time.
Steve. Oh, this is so hard. Steve
and
Carrie voted no.
Correct.
And so, but the pay raise was deferred to the next meeting. At the beginning of the meeting last week, they deferred it, but at the end of the meeting, Miss Youngblood brought it back up. And then so they discussed it, not line by line, but they discussed terms and things like that. And they, again, the only people that I saw actually asking questions in this meeting was Miss Morton and Mr. Harvey. That's what I'm going to say.
There you go.
I'm going to use last names.
There you go.
And so if you want to watch what we watched, you can do that. Or I will put the transcript of what my little AI friend did. I have to fix some of the names on there because they didn't get everybody's names right. But I'll send it to you guys so you know what it looks like. But again, I say this like I was talking because I made sure it was okay to say names this morning because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings because that's just how I am. But it's no different than with this, this heated political season that we did have. If you don't like who's in the seat, if you don't feel like you're well represented, then when it comes time to vote for alderman and or mayor and city official, however it works, you need to go and vote. And again, that's just that's the system. That's how it works. So people out there that's watching, that's not registered voters, I say this a lot. Please, please, please register to vote. Get on your app. Go download Go Vote TN. Put it in there, even though we don't have nothing coming up very soon. Get it started so you can be registered, so you can be involved. Because just like I said with Jennifer, and I'm saying it again with Melody, the more we know, the more we can grow, the more we can move in synchronized steps together. Don't
be an educated voter. Don't just vote straight ticket, not knowing who you're voting for. Ask the questions.
You have the right.
Figure it out.
As your right to vote, you have the right to go out and ask the questions and find out this information. If you don't feel comfortable asking those questions, you can call us here at Warren First 931. We will find it. We will try to dig and find anything and everything we can. Because I'm telling you guys, you guys have the reason this show is as good as it is because of you watching, you listening, you sending me messages and saying, hey, did you hear? Hey, can you talk about this? Hey, can you find this out for me? And it's because of you that this show is what it is. And I want y'all to know, the more we know, the more we grow. I am going to be transparent with you. The information I just told you is what I watched on a live feed from last week's meeting, which is open to the public. The city is not. One thing somebody said over the weekend on Flip the Switch, they said the mayor and aldermen are just so secretive and not let anybody know anything. And when did this meeting ever happen? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God.
It's not. It's very public and open.
I went up to her. I said, it's very public. I said it's on Facebook right now. The live feed, you can watch the play-by-play action.
Yes.
And I said, and you can actually go on the Chamber of Commerce calendar to see when all the board meetings are happening.
Yeah.
Now, not all of them, I think, are public because
County commission is the same way. You can go and watch all the county commission meetings too. Nothing's secret.
No.
You as a taxpayer, you as a voter have a right to know what your people are deciding for you. And I encourage you all to exercise that right.
And again, if, there's always going to be, like I said, naysayers and yaysayers, and you can't make everybody happy. But at the end of this, just stop and think, like, what is that? We always say, check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's a great shirt.
That's an old saying.
You need to put check yourself on the front and then
before you wreck yourself
on the back.
But yeah, you gotta ask the tough questions and you gotta figure it out.
And the tough questions on Melody are really the easiest ones.
I know.
At the end of the day.
I know.
I found that out the hard way.
You just gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna be loud until I get answers and just ask questions. They'll tell you. I mean, I was surprised by how open and honest they are once you just start asking questions.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know what the city administrator does, that's the only thing I did not bring with me this morning, which I probably should have. Morning, Anna, which I should have brought. But I'll post when I do this transcript and the summary. I'll post what does the city administrator do, because the job description, by the way, is also on the City of Government's page.
Well, can we switch gears? Because speaking of new things, the other thing that got decided, and the Southern Standard broke this. We were not called on this one, but good for them.
They talked about it in the meeting. I just didn't get to see it until later.
So the Tourism Development Board dissolved in August. This was another, I believe, I cannot get clarification. And I'll be honest, I haven't tried very hard, but I believe it was a nonprofit, but it dissolved. The city absorbed it. So now the Tourism Development Board is part of the city, and they have now hired their tourism and marketing manager.
Yep.
And yes, her salary is high, but again, before we start freaking out,
she's doing what that whole tourism board group did as one.
We don't know what the average salary is. We don't know what her qualifications are. Salaries are all dependent. It seems like a lot, but it might actually not be as much as she should be getting. So I'm going to hold judgment until I get more information. But
so before you say that on salary, I do know that it did state, if you looked at when the job was available, the pay was between anything from $50,000 to $65,000.
Well, then they must have gotten somebody really well qualified.
But again, if I don't know, that was like, on the job description.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you have all those qualifications with a degree and everything, I could probably see you getting the max. But if you're, say, somebody like me that doesn't have a college degree or anything, it might have been less.
Right.
I don't know, because that's part of being in a meeting.
And that's why we need to get more information before we start freaking out and grabbing the pitchforks.
Yes.
But her name is Jordan Pupils.
I thought it started with a K.
Pupols, was chosen from a field of 32 applicants. And Nolan expressed confidence in her energy and expertise will be invaluable. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
But her salary is $105,912 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is a lot. But then again, you got to look at how the economy is. And again, we don't know what degree she has, what qualifications, what previous experience she has.
Yeah.
We could have hit a gold mine. I don't think she's from here. I've tried looking her up and I'm not seeing her. I can't find her, but if she is new to McMinnville, welcome. We're glad you're here. But I don't think Jordan is a dynamic. Now, of course, I'm reading from the Southern Standards page again. But Jordan is a dynamic and visionary leader with a proven track record in community development, marketing, and event management. That sounds pretty good.
Nice.
So I'm interested to see what degree she has. She is uniquely qualified to elevate McMinnville's profile as a premier tourism destination, which is what we want. I don't want us to turn into Gatlinburg. Absolutely not.
But I want to stay in our hallmark ways.
Yes, but at the same time, when you bring in that tourism money, you're bringing in tax money, which means roads are going to get fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Things are going to get fixed. New things are going to come in. Case in point, the ice skating rink. So we do want that tourism money because the population around here changes some, but it doesn't change a lot. So therefore, the tax money isn't going to change. It isn't going to go up. The tourism money's what causes that increase that allows other things to happen. But yes, so I'm looking forward to meeting her and seeing all the great things she's going to do. And I do know that the Tourism Development Board already had a lot of stuff lined up. They already had advertisements in a lot of different magazines lined up, advertisements and articles. So, I mean, all of that's going to come out. So all of their good work is still happening. It's still in play.
Yeah.
And then she'll take over. One other thing that I came aware of that I want to share with you guys. Today is year 5 for Suzanne Prater owning Depot Bottom Country Store. So if you guys are out and about, maybe you got an extra vacation day or you're just running errands,
Congrats, Susan.
Go celebrate their 5th anniversary with them. This is incredible. Suzanne Prater was the culinary arts teacher at the high school for years, former owner of my house. Has nothing to do with it. But anyway, she is a phenomenal person. She's the sweetest person. She's an amazing cook. And I look forward to many, many more years of her owning that restaurant and bringing the community together. Yeah. So 5th anniversary, go grab you some lunch over there with Suzanne.
All right. Kicking this off, we have so many events coming up. And again, because I'm almost done wrapping it up for today, but I got this message. It says, please support the Christmas party for adults and children who are experiencing homelessness and disadvantaged youth in McMinnville. Your contribution will help pay for meals, gifts, and the park theater rental fee. So on Christmas, there's a Christmas party on December the 15th at 5:30, First United Methodist Church. What's going on? Oh, my phone's fixing to die. Of course it is. Hold on. As I say that, we'll switch gears.
Somebody forgot to charge their phone.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's
I know. Mom life.
Mom life. But First United Methodist Church Outreach Building and movie at the Park Theater. And again, if you click on, there is a link. I'll send it, guys, to you. But again, this is through Brad Durham, and he said, hey, it's Brad with First United Methodist Church Homeless for the Christmas party. Could you please help me with my fundraiser? And again, he sent the link and everything. So again, if you want to help put some funds in there for the homeless, I do know First United Methodist, every Saturday morning they do the, cleaning the clothes and things like that.
Yeah.
And, going back to,
I didn't know he was involved with all of that.
Of kids that are, not, there's a 37% of children that are financially, that have financial disadvantage, which some of those kids are homeless or deemed homeless because of that.
Yeah.
And so you just got to think about it. Don't think about it just for the adults, but the kids. You don't want them to go without, an event. And then also CK Taylor messaged me over the weekend and she said, hello, pretty lady. I just want to let you know that our toy drive and open house for Pure Wealth Partners is on December the 13th from 10 to 6 p.m. And so make plans for that.
I'm out of town. Okay, y'all need to go though, because seriously,
it's really nice.
It's absolutely beautiful in there, and they do an incredible job. And this is a great opportunity to get to see one of our historic buildings that has been saved, gently renovated, and it's beautiful in there. While you're pulling up events, I've got one for tonight. I don't have a lot of details, but Sounds of the Season, the annual Christmas concert that the choir at the high school, the select choir at the high school puts on, is tonight at 7 p.m. at the high school in the auditorium. I don't know anything else. I don't see anything about ticket prices or anything. It's just very basic. Hey, come hang out. But if you guys have never, I went to the Halloween concert. It blew me away. I mean, they did an incredible job. I never thought anybody could sing Mozart. It was wild.
Really?
It was wild. Yeah. And they did a version of Creep by Radiohead that just moved me to tears.
Oh,
it was beautiful. So I can't wait to see what they're going to pull out for Christmas. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So if you guys aren't doing anything, come join us. That's going to be tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow Tomorrow is
tomorrow.
Christmas in the park.
Christmas in the park. Now, if you missed Flip the Switch because you're just gearing up for now, let me tell you, Flip the Switch was amazing. All the lights lit
That
up.
was great.
You know,
I
they
got to watch it
recognized
online.
Hank and his wife and all the employees that helped put that together. Everything was amazing. The only thing that didn't turn on, which everybody got confused, was why is the tree not on? Because the tree gets lit on Tuesday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, why do they do it separately? Because it's two different organizations.
Yeah. Junior of
Why we're not
Auxiliary.
working together, I don't know, but it's two.
I'm working on it.
Main Street McMinnville did Flip the Switch. This one is Junior Auxiliary.
Yeah, and it's called Christmas in the Park.
Yes. And they've got so many activities planned.
They do.
There's going to be the I think the Polar Express train is still going through here.
So yeah, Huff and Puff is bringing back the Polar Express train.
There will not be carriage rides because that is Main Street McMinnville.
Yeah, that was Saturday night.
If you missed that Saturday night, it will be back for second Saturday, and they will be doing the free carriage rides again then.
Thank you, by the way, to Security Federal that hooked us up. It's called Mule Skinners.
Yeah, the Mule Skinners. They're incredible.
Yeah, it was neat. And they had a covered one and then an open one. And then Huff and Puff brings the they'll be here tomorrow night with the train. It's so neat and it's lifelike and
it's so much fun.
And by the way, they shoot out snow.
Oh, it's so cool.
So it's like you're in so cool. Snowland down here.
I took some pictures last year and I was like, wait, later on I was looking at it going,
yeah.
Did it? Oh, no, wait, that was right. That was fake snow.
And Brian Carr is going to be singing, and me and Walker are going to be singing. There's a whole list of dancers. And again, you can go to the Junior Auxiliary page, and they broke it down pretty much.
Yes.
Showcasing everybody that's going to be in this. And me and my son look forward to this each and every year. This is really our kickoff to Christmas.
Okay, but let me just tell you, there's a new thing this year. They're doing a scavenger hunt.
They are.
12 and under can collect a sticker at 4 different locations around downtown McMinnville during Christmas in the park. The first 250 kids to complete the hunt can redeem their stickers at the Junior Auxiliary table inside City Hall. That's where we were talking about earlier, where the meetings are held. The police department is.
City Bank.
Until 8 p.m.
Okay.
So you'll just pick up an event pamphlet outside City Hall. You'll locate the scavenger hunt section in the pamphlet, find the 4 locations, and then once you've collected all 4, tear off that section and then come to the table at City Hall.
Yeah.
But it's a whole thing. And
all these events we're talking about, you can also find on our page. You can find it. And by the way, I made an oopsie during Thanksgiving.
Mark singing. Mark Hyburn. My gosh. That man has the voice of an angel. Yes. I love listening to him.
Listen, this lineup here,
it's insane.
You go from Mark to Brian to Jacob to us.
I'm like, Jacob is, but if he's in with everybody else, it's got to be lit. It's going to be lit.
It's going to be lit. But again,
so
you need to come out because it's a big time. And I do know that a lot of people got a little frustrated on Flip the Switch a little bit. A majority of businesses on Flip the Switch closed at 5. And that's just how it is. And I know there was like 3 or 4 businesses opened. And guess what? They thrived that night. I will say anytime there is a downtown event going on, if you're a business owner, I have to say this because I feel like I need to. You need to stay open. I understand.
You really do. Things are happening.
And it was Small Business Saturday where people were coming out to support that. Yeah. But again, it is what it is. And I know like some businesses, they made bank.
Yeah.
And they were very appreciative of, staying open and seeing the walk, the walk and stuff. But again, Tuesday they're going to be open irregular hours as well. So they're going to stay open to 8
businesses are going to be serving refreshments. They're going to have activities for the kids. And here's the other difference between the two. Tomorrow night, the streets will be closed.
Yes.
So come prepared to park and walk.
Yeah.
You'll have to park and walk because there'll be all of it out. The train's going to be going through here. Not only is the singing going to be going on, but also
not First National Bank. They used to do it at First National Bank. They moved it down here at the Chamber. That's where you line up to get. Is it the Chamber where they're going to have the
train? I thought it was down here. Last year was here. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow night. I haven't heard. But the Pioneerettes are also going to be performing.
Yeah.
Paula's Dance Academy, the Jiu-Jitsu, and then the Warren County Middle School dance team is going to be performing. So
all on the street.
I'm telling you, that's why the streets have to be closed. You can't dance in between cars. It's kind of difficult. Paula's good, but she ain't that good. Maybe she's that good. Jasmine might be able to do it.
I bet she can make them do it. Make them work.
Jane could probably do it. But anyway, so
much is going on between now and tomorrow. And I want to say, I'm not going to be able to mention everything, but thank you to Melody. I made a oopsie and forgot to hit share the calendar, share the newsletter.
Just let her go.
And I wondered why people were messaging me. Listen, I want to tell everybody I love you, but when it comes to holiday break, certain holiday breaks, that is Thanksgiving and Christmas, my two big ones.
Yeah,
that's family.
Yeah,
and so
Easter.
Yeah, and Easter. And but with that said, I did post our newsletter on Friday or Saturday, and Saturday night. My bad.
Better late than never.
But
we're pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. But with that said, I do have a copy of the newsletter at our locations. There's 20 plus locations to get this past week's newsletter. And I want to tell you guys, if you want the full newsletter that has all the events going on, because this is just 12 pages, there's 16 pages on the digital copy. And I'm telling you guys, because that's already all happened. See, that's how this works. See? So we'll just change it up. But again, you can see all that. And I do know that I need to fix this one. It's not December the 2nd. It's December the 5th. Don't let me forget that.
Well, let me change that because that was going to be tonight. So December 5th?
Yeah, but that's what Lanisa said, the 5th.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what she said. I'll double check that. I'm not saying what I'm changing date on because I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
5 p.m.?
5 p.m., yeah. But Pioneer Lanes is hosting an event.
They're doing the paranormal thing again.
Yes, they are.
Ooh, that's so much fun, guys.
It's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Space is limited. Must be at least 16 years of age. $20 per person. It says, come join us. I should just pull this up on my phone. It's so much easier, and I can make it biggie size.
So David did this last year.
Yeah, talk about it.
Because let me tell you something. That bowling alley is severe haunted.
It's what I've heard, but I won't go because of that.
It's severe haunted. They like to throw the pins and everything. It's insane. I've heard it from multiple people. I know people that have quit there because of the activity. Really? David did not get to see anything last year, but you can't control ghosts. They're not going to do it on command.
Yeah.
You just got to hope that they're feeling a
little
not
frisky. Paid employees, exactly.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you're going to a haunted house, if you're going to a haunted location and the ghosts are responding on demand, then something's not adding up.
Right. But it says, come join us for a one-of-a-kind public paranormal investigation of this unique bowling alley. Locals, patrons, and staff regularly report on the strange occurrences, especially when closing for the night. Reports of shadow figures moving along the lanes, games being mysteriously shut down, and other anomalies should highlight your night. If you own equipment, feel free to bring it with you. You should tell your son and his friends.
I'm telling you, they went.
If you got cameras, recorders, EMF detectors, etc., we do ask that everyone bring a flashlight with you, as we will be moving through extremely dark rooms at times. Reservations can be made by calling Debbie at 273-6254, and payment will be included at the time of the event, and they're only taking cash. And so, again, mark your calendars for that. Another event, of course, going on that's big, as I'm going to double dip here, is this weekend. It's going to be December the 7th. You know what that means?
Christmas in the Village.
The parade. We got the parade, Christmas in the Village.
Yes.
We have a Helen's on the Green is hosting a raising money for the critters. Come eat and bid on auction items. That's on December the 7th. Ooh. All these events are going on, and it's crazy. And I want to say, yeah. And then going on right now to the 6th is the Bonnie Blue Inns open house.
Need to go.
Located on Smithville Road. Well, You just told me you're going to be MIA this week.
Well, I didn't know it was Bonnie Blue in Edwin. You've never gone.
Do you want to go eat there today?
Yeah, let's go do
just do
that.
that.
I can skip making fudge one day. I've already got like
You
a
just
whole
want to
list.
do it today? And
Yes,
okay.
because I'm telling you, guys, it is absolutely beautiful out there. Most people don't even know the Bonnie Blue Inn exists.
Yeah.
And she puts out an amazing spread, and there's little things you can buy, and she gives you a little gift. It's so much fun, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love their tea times.
Yeah.
And then, okay, she was talking about Christmas in the Village. It's on the 6th and the 7th. The 6th is from 5 to 9, and the 7th is from 4 to 9 p.m. Oh, that's also the other thing I was supposed to mention.
So
I got to go back to something. Let me tell you,
Gypsy Soul Fudge will be there, but here's the kicker. The country store, that's where you normally go to get all your goodies and stuff during the craft. Our wonderful friend Penny Crouch, who owns the Oh Sugar, she's going to be in there with all of her delicious Oh Sugar baked goods, and my fudge is going in there with her. So if you're looking for the Gypsy Soul Fudge, it's going to, pardon me while I just choke on my existence for a minute. It's going to be in the country store. I am going to be in the photography building. And I will have our Songbird Studio stuff. We're going to be debuting our new McMinnville Christmas shirt, other McMinnville theme designs. So if you're looking for a personalized McMinnville gift, I have lots of designs that I've custom made. You won't be able to get them anywhere else. And we will have all of those in that booth, along with other Christmassy items. So,
all right. So I talked about this because it reminded me of Christmas.
Ambulance.
It's called Fill the Ambulance with the Warren County EMS and Rescue. And thank you to our partners, Ryan J. Moore and General Sessions Judge and Miss Gracie Brock, our 2023 Warren County Fairs of the Fair. Even after the crowd, she's still doing stuff.
She's incredible.
She's thriving.
She was at the craft fair the other day, and she looks incredible and seems happy and healthy, and I love her. I know.
So it's a Christmas gift drive. This Christmas season, help us fill the ambulance with toys, pet food, blankets, and food. The Warren County EMS needs your help to share the Christmas spirit with those in need. We're collecting children's gifts, non-perishable food items for families in need, along with pet supplies, including blankets, treats, and dog and cat food for the Warren County Animal Control and Adoption Center. Help us fill the Warren County ambulance with kindness to share in our community. And the places where to donate, the Warren County EMS Station 1, which is located at 103 Magnus Drive across from the TCAP building. Warren County Courthouse, Ryan J. Moore's office. Christmas in the Village at the fairgrounds. You can drop off items on the 6th and the 7th. And, of course, on Walmart on December the 14th. The Warren County EMS employees will be set up at Walmart in McMinnville on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. to receive donations. So that's where you can donate.
Wonderful.
And so how you can help, the specific items that are needed are also in there as well. If y'all have any questions, you can contact Joey Clark at WCEMS. And it says, please have all the donation drop-offs to the EMS by Friday, December the 20th, which that's fair because with everything else going on. Also, with that, speaking of toy drives and more, so it's going to be a busy time. It's the 4th annual Ron Hillis Toy Drive. And it's going to be the ride. This is where you see some of the bike riders dress up.
Yes.
And it's so fun seeing these guys with tats and their bikes. And they're, again, for all a good cause. And it's going to end at the Plaza Center at the KSU at 1 p.m. And so on December the 14th at 1 p.m., go out there. You're going to see motorcycles, hot rods, trucks, UTVs, that's what it says. Bring a toy and join us for a great cause. For more information, you can contact DT at 808-3457 or Bob at 235-9. Bob. Yeah.
Bob.
At 9699.
I wonder if there's some days he just decides to spell his name backwards just to confuse people.
It's still going to be the same.
I know.
How would you say Bob in Pig Latin? Would it still be Bob?
Ube? Boop? 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 I don't know.
Wouldn't it be? I don't know.
It's been a long time since I've spoken.
Boab?
Boab.
I don't know. Now I'm getting in I saw this guy. I can't think of his name right now. But that is just a few of the events that we have going on. Continuing with the newsletter, again, 16 pages worth. Asked to Meet You is on December the 8th at the Milner Recreation Center.
That has gotten changed. Hang on.
Oh, good to know.
I got a notification the other day
So
at
if
the
we
craft
eat,
fair.
will you help me fix?
Yes.
And I'll help you make
to meet you. December 15th from 3 to 5. What do you have?
December 8th.
So it's now Sunday, December 15th from 3 to 5.
Look at this. I'm already just going to change it since I'm in there. Why not? 3 to 5. Are we good now? Still,
Yes.
And it's still $75
Yes.
fee, which will include a 200-piece starter set, beginner set of decorating tips, tools, turntable, popping bags, cake combs, and scrapers, etc. One durable apron, 2-layer white cake icing, and a box. That's a steal.
That really is a really good deal.
Who's doing this? Like, who's going to be the instructor? I'm just curious.
The cake lady. Do you know the cake lady?
The cake lady.
It says the cake lady.
I wonder if it's Leigh that made my son's cakes back in the day and I lost her number.
The cake lady who lives on Drury Lane? No, wait, that's somebody else.
Is that a real thing? Did you just throw something out?
No, it's like an old nursery rhyme.
You're talking
the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man lives on Drury Lane.
I was like, is this a legit thing that you're saying? I am so tired.
The Muffin Man. I'm telling you.
Okay, and Santa is going to be in town with after the McMinnville Christmas Parade. Go to the Magnolia Room located at the Warren County Admin Building.
Yes.
Kids can enjoy snacks and Christmas-themed activities, including making reindeer food, which is always essential when you're getting your Santa cookies ready. The reindeer need some food, too. We got to show some love.
We always just put out carrots, but I mean, now there's a whole recipe thing.
There is a whole recipe thing, and we make it all the time. But with that said, that's on December the 7th. So after the Christmas parade, go stop at the admin building from 3:30 to 5:30. And it's going to be traditional Santa pictures with free downloadable images made by the Painted Barn Media. Thanks to Jeff Griffin for that. To start off your perfect holiday season, all of this for $20 per participating child. Sibling discounts are available. Followed by that, if there is a Grinch themed, there's Grinch themes everywhere. Rock Island Trolley is having their. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to meet the one and only green one? Well, you have your chance on Sunday, December the 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Rock Island Trolley. So if you want to see the man in green, go for it. Also, continuing on, free pictures with Santa. Bring your kids and your phone and take pictures on the 7th, 13th, and the 21st, as the detention at the elementary is going to have pictures with Santa. And if I think I know who that is, he may be coming here tomorrow. I will tell you, it looks like him.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
With that said, I have exciting news. I don't know if you, it's going to be posted tonight to remind everybody. Santa is going to be on the show tomorrow.
Oh,
I am so excited. I called Mr. Claus last night to see if he could come this week to bring all the cheer.
Amazing.
And so please tune in.
What a great start to the Christmas in the Park.
I thought so. And again, we're going to talk about Christmas in the Park and all the Christmas activities. And what I want to know how hard, I want to know questions like when Santa, when do you take a break? I mean, with all the kids, do you ever have a vacation? I'm going to ask him all the hard stuff tomorrow.
Well, I mean, he's got the whole year. He probably.
I don't know, but you think about it with kids being born all the time. How do you micromanage all that?
Yeah.
So I want to know,
sorry. Hey guys, we just got a notification. 'Tis the season for giving. Help us support our 2024 Fairs of the Fair, Channing Cummings, by donating items needed this Christmas season. Channing will be at Christmas in the Village this weekend collecting items for home. So they'll also be collecting for that.
I love that.
Which is new backpacks, insulated gloves and socks, deodorant, razors, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and thermal underwear, medium to extra large.
And have you noticed, guys, this season, it's all about giving. Ever since the disaster in North Carolina,
Let me tell you, they are
people
nowhere near
are
out of the
so
woods.
appreciative of. Are you thirsty?
No.
Do you need real water? Do you want
What?
No, I'm just saying
Oh,
people are so.
I was like, what?
Not,
I'm
just
not
making
even
sense.
choking right now.
No.
No.
No, I'm just
No,
saying
but I
people are very
agree.
appreciative of the small things. Like, when my parents and or my parent, well, I say my parent, I can say my parents, asked me what to get the kids this year for Christmas. I asked for socks, underwear. You don't understand how kids are like, let's get this.
No.
And so I'm just saying, also going on, coming up, not this week, but next week is, and I want to go to this. It's the Ugly Christmas Sweater event, and you can win prizes, but I did not put where you can. I think this was at the skating rink.
Yes, it was.
Oh my gosh, I didn't put where it's at. I do that sometimes. I'm so sorry.
Guys,
So
last
sorry.
Monday was hectic.
It was, but the ugliest sweater wins a prize. It's on December the 13th, Friday night from 7 to 11 at our very own local skating rink over there behind Kimmy's and the antique shop.
McMinnville Antiques and
Thank
yep.
you. And then, of course, the second Saturday will be December the 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. And I'll tell you this, by the 14th, you need to either be halfway to getting your gifts for your family or at least starting.
Yeah.
Just saying. Between all these craft shows and stuff, if you're looking for unique gifts, I don't know if there's any. I will say this, and you can correct me on this. This weekend, I think, with Christmas in the Village is the last Christmas type craft fair.
That is my understanding, because after that point, people really don't want to go to craft shows.
Yeah.
Everything gets very busy with the holidays, and people
Yeah.
just don't have the time to not only get the crafts together,
Yeah.
to go to the show,
Yeah.
to set up. I know I won't be able to after this weekend. It's pushing it to do it this weekend.
That's what
I'm
you're saying.
Yeah, I'm doing the show the 6th and the 7th, and then I leave the morning of the 8th to go see my beautiful niece for an entire week.
Yeah.
So I mean, this one slid in under the radar.
But it's a must go. So if you are looking for
I'm
a
excited
unique
to finally
gift,
get to do it.
this will be your last, to our knowledge, opportunity to go to a Christmas inspired themed craft fair to find those unique gifts for Christmas this
And
year.
there's so many people set up. Guys, don't forget to go in the buildings. I've heard that from a lot of people that set up last year.
Yeah, you got to go in the building.
They wanted to stay out in the open in the cattle barn or something because people just did not go in the buildings.
They didn't.
Go in the buildings.
Check them out.
There's people setting up. I know that in there with me in the photography building, there's somebody selling sourdough bread, which is a very bad idea. I don't know who planned that idea, because carbs are my favorite food. And when they're sourdough carbs,
so you're hoping that they have a PayPal something like swipe, so you can swipe.
I'm just going to be taking money for my stuff and handing it next door.
Yeah.
I mean, it's last year. I'm not gonna lie. My best friend made me homemade sourdough loaf.
Yeah.
I sat there on the couch with a bowl of butter,
yeah,
ripping that bread off, just dipping that butter.
And speaking of sourdough bread,
no regrets.
Olivia from General Store, The Hitch.
Oh,
I'm waiting for you to make me a dough ball so I can make this.
She wants some starter.
You want
the starter. You want her to make the whole dough.
The whole dough. I don't know. Unless she wants to come over at my house to make it with me to show me how.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But December the 13th, Bonnie Blue Inn is doing their Christmas afternoon tea at 2 p.m. So if you want to make a reservation, you need to call Bonnie Blue. Or when you go to their open house this week, make reservations.
Still have to do that with the open house. I believe you. It's still better, especially if you've got a really large group.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to call, because it is a small dining room. I'm actually going to call as soon as we're off air and make sure she can accommodate.
Yeah. Whatever you got to do.
The two of us and all of our personalities.
Yes. And then ho, guess who's making a special stop at the Rock Island Trolley? Santa's going everywhere. December the 14th and 15th, you can see Santa. So see details on that. And I think that's it on my last.
And I will say, Santa is still at the mall every single weekend.
Yes.
And let me tell you, he had no problem taking a picture with a dog and a cat. That's right. Somebody showed up.
The one in the backpack.
Mr. Poe in a backpack. The cutest thing. She's walking around with this backpack with a clear see-through dome on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Poe was in there just chilling. I got to stick my finger through the breathing hole, and he was playing with me. And I mean, he was happy. I don't know how my cats would feel about traveling in a backpack. But then he came out and they sat on Santa's lap with Mr. Poe.
And he was fine.
He was great.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not saying everybody probably needs to take their pets up there, but
no, my cat would freak out.
Yeah.
He likes his space.
Well-behaved animals.
Yes. And then, of course, we did have last week the great Miriam Crawford. Love you.
Strawberry bread was like next level, girl. Oh, my gosh.
It's delicious.
I could marry that and be happy the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. But again, don't forget the McMinnville Nativity Festival is coming up on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Also, the Black House is having a very merry Victorian Christmas on the 13th and the 14th. And then, of course,
hang on. And those two events, if you're not sure what to expect, I did share the pictures I took last year of those two events onto the Warren First page. So you can kind of look through there and see if that's maybe something you would want to go and do. And I strongly encourage you to, because it's incredible.
And then on, it's called Happy Horror Days. It goes, come out and see us on December the 13th for some spooky good deals on Festive Flash, both holly, jolly, and horror themed. And it says the dress code, not really, but your artist will be decked out in festive PJs. The food will be snacks and goodies for all to enjoy. Music, we're not animals, but we have holiday music, so come ask. And this is all going to be down at the Athena place in the plaza.
Yes.
Over there. And I can't believe I did it again. I did it again. And I want to say a shout out. I can't look at that. I want to say a shout out to Rigor Mortis. The photo just creeps me out.
Well, that's the point of the photo.
Starting next week, as we're going to do the countdown to Christmas, Melody is going to come on the show. I'm already going to tell you what your next job is. To talk about fun holiday traditions from other places.
I'm very excited.
And one being Krampus.
I love Krampus.
Everybody needs to know who Krampus is. If you don't know, you better. But with that said,
this is incredible.
Rigor Mortis, the haunted house here in town, that also has the very talented Jordan Winton.
Let me tell you, that's the reason why this haunted house works.
It's phenomenal. But with that said, it's called Krampus Christmas Chaos.
So he's turning the haunted house into a whole horror Christmas theme.
A holly horror house.
Look, I'm supposed to still be out of town. There's a potential that I'm still out of town that date. But if I'm not, that's where I will be.
Yeah.
And I'm dragging my kid with me, whether he wants to go or not.
Well, get Taylor. Didn't she like
Taylor liked it. Maybe I'll just take my Taylor.
So, again, if you're into that, I'm not. But if you're into that stuff, which I already swiped it away because it makes me sick to my stomach when I look at it. But again, that's how real it looks to me. It scares me. But
like my grandfather always said, anything's good if you like it.
Okay, there you go. And Three Rivers is hosting the Wonder of It All on December 14th and 15th, which is located at 461 Friendship Drive in Rock Island. Also, too, I'm going to call them today. Come see Bethlehem. It's a live walkthrough nativity scene.
Oh, I've been wanting somebody to do this for so long.
Pentecostals of McMinnville. It's going to be on December 19th, 20th, and the 21st from 5 to 8 p.m. And the final walkthrough is going to be Sunday, the 22nd. And it is free.
Okay, so if you were wondering what is the Pentecostals of McMinnville, they are the ones who took over the Pioneer Community Church that was a school before that. So that's where they are. So they've got plenty of room for this to do this. So I'm very excited to go and check that out. I think it's going to be incredible.
Which is located at, like she said, if you didn't know where that still is at, the address is 1707 Yeager Road in McMinnville, Tennessee. And then lastly, come see Santa's favorite reindeer and friends at the Rock Island Trolley, which again, I'm assuming maybe Frosty will be there, some of the other friends, to come hang out on December the 21st and the 22nd. And then if you have an event.
Time of year. God, I love this time of year.
I do too. Look, if you have an event, look at that. This is in our newsletter. Please message us at 931-305-0869.
See, we will write it up for you.
We will, yes. Half of these did not come with flyers, and we came up with them.
We're We'll help y'all out.
We'll help you out, and then if you like what you see, just ask us and we'll shoot you the image back.
Right.
But with that said, there is a ton of events going on between now and the end of this week alone. If you want to be a part of to get the digital copy emailed to you every week on a daily, every Monday and Tuesday, I did email that out. I had to double check myself Saturday on that. But every Monday and Tuesday, I send out a digital copy to our subscribers. We have over 80 people that have subscribed to the newsletter. It is ever so growing. I am so thankful for that. But
it's hard to believe this has been a year. And look how much you've accomplished, girl. Girl boss right here. I'm just telling you.
And there's still I have a shout out to the people that don't know what I'm doing, but they do know what I'm doing. I still have 5 to 10 things I haven't touched yet.
Oh yeah, she's still full of ideas. There's more coming. It just keeps getting better.
So the new 2025 is looking bright. I will tell y'all.
To Chris's delight.
Oh yeah, there's more coming. But with that said, if we do not mention them, it's not because we're snubbing you or anything. It's because my algorithm and her algorithm does not see it. And you've got to let us know, because the other thing is, I want to say a thank you. We're going to end on this. A thank you to everybody that is following our post about nonprofits and events for 2025. That is going to stay up till the end of the year, at least, for sure, maybe a little bit longer. But if you have an event that is going on in 2025 that you know about, post it on there. That's the easiest thing that has happened to us. We hosted our first ever kickoff community calendar kickoff party at the Chamber of Commerce. And again, thanks for the Chamber for letting us have the community room. We may do that again in January. I will say everybody needs to get their calendars open, because on January, I want to say, because it's changed. Hold on. I got to go back to my 2024 calendar so I can tell everybody this correctly. So my anniversary date was January 5th of last year. That was my first official podcast. And true to form,
Are we having a party?
We're having a party.
All right.
And it's going to be open to the public, and it's going to be all day long. Oh yeah. Buckle up. Buckle up.
Let me just clear that off my calendar then.
January, it's going to be, I know January the 5th is a Sunday.
Yeah.
So with that said, because I want to end my weekend on an amazing high, we're going to celebrate the 1-year anniversary on January the 10th.
Okay.
Because that is a Friday. And I want it to be open to the public, and I want people to come in, give me more information, eat cake. I want to do Marie Antoinette. I'm going to go opposite. Let them eat cake, girl.
Right.
So everybody's going to come and eat cake, and then, just come and you can hang out with me all day. And I'm going to see if I can get the community room at the Chamber. Thank you. The community room for at least 8:30 to 2:50 is the time slot I want, because I want to just show my appreciation to you guys. I'm trying to get some gift bags together.
We're going to podcast from there.
We're going to podcast there on and off all day long. So if you are a nonprofit, a business that wants to get in on it, January the 10th, make it count. Because again, I said it with Jennifer, I said it with Melody, I say it over and over till I wear it out wear out a horse. Guys, this show is not, or it could not be, let me say, the show could not be what it is today without you guys. True. And I am so blessed and appreciative of people like Melody, there's so many that have come and helped me grow to what this is today. And I couldn't do it without them. And I want everybody to have the opportunity that has been involved in this process to come out, shake and howdy, network, meet and greet, whatever you want to call it. But it is a celebration for the community. It's not just a celebration for 1-year anniversary of Warren First 931. It is a celebration for this community, because yes, because
and progress. Yeah.
Yes,
so much has happened.
Again, Warren First 931 is a mover and a shaker, and that is what I want it to be for year 2025. Yeah. I'm hoping to have another surprise to like drop the ball on January the 10th about, I'm going to tell Melody off air.
I get to be in the know.
So again, my hope and goal, my hope for this show is to continue to grow. And I'll say this again. If you're out there watching this and you say to yourself, what the heck is Warren First 931? It's whatever the community needs.
Damn.
I'll say it again over and over. If the community decides, you know what? We need blah-de-de-blah. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the blah-de-de-blah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just truth. If we are missing, I'll figure out how to make it happen. And it may not be labeled Warren First, but I'll be behind the scenes doing it.
Do you know how to say no?
No. I don't. That's what my husband and my mother get me on all the time.
It's a problem. I mean, but when you love this community as much as you and I both do, and you want it the best for this community, and you know that whatever it is going to be good for this community. Yeah. It's hard to say no because you want to be a part of it because that's all you've been pushing for.
When it comes to community and kids, I can't say no.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know.
I can't.
Me too.
And again, I love each and every one of you guys. Many blessings to you and your family. Again, I am so excited. Santa Claus is coming to Warren First tomorrow. And I want to tell you guys, bust out watch my Facebook feeds and Instagram feeds. I want to know what you guys do for your family traditions. I want to know what you got geared up for this year. I want to know all the happiness and joy going on in your life because it is December and it is time to turn our frowns upside down.
Oh,
okay.
I love Christmas time.
I do. And I love it when there's snow, including when there's fake snow. So tomorrow night, even though it's not real, I'm going to just sit there and be like,
I know.
It's real to me.
We'll both be down here tomorrow night.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yeah, we might be on opposite ends or whatever, depending on which way my kids flow.
But normally, just listen. You can hear both of our big mouths anywhere.
The two.
That's how I normally find her. I just start listening and I can hear her and I'll just track her down that way.
Same.
And I know that people do the same thing with me. They're like, we can hear you.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, one of my dear friends at the craft show.
Yeah.
And she is visually impaired. She's not completely blind, but she's close.
Yeah.
And she came in to the craft show and I saw her and all I said was, hi. And she immediately knew it was me.
Oh.
And she said, where are you? She's like, I need a hug. So, I mean, I'm telling you, it's got one of those two voices. Yeah.
So again, take care. God bless and Merry Christmas.
I'm going to start saying
I'm going to say it. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays because I say both. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hanukkah.
Yeah. Oh yes. All as I watched Candy Cane Lane to all our Jewish community out there. Happy Hanukkah.
I think we are in Hanukkah.
Are we in Hanukkah?
No, is it next
week? Did you say Shalom? Is that?
I actually did the menorah last year because I have Jewish ancestry and I wanted to pay.
Well, that's nice.
Yes, it needs work.
Okay.
But I did enjoy the tradition.
No. Starts on the 25th, right?
Whoa. That's
2024 Hanukkah begins at sundown on Wednesday, December the 25th and ends on
January 2nd. Last year it was around this time. So why is it late? Because the start of Hanukkah is tied to the Hebrew calendar. The dates change from year to year and the holiday can happen between late November and late, I guess that's December.
Yeah.
And determined by the phases of the moon. Oh, look.
Oh, well, there you go.
Hey, look. That's
Shalom.
That's the beginning of other holiday tradition talk.
There you go. Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Get something to eat.
So we're hungry. Go get y'all some lunch because I promised my boy I'd get him lunch today too. So take care. God bless. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And remember, Warren County,